it's really, I get a lot of value out of my articles, and whether other people do or not, it's definitely up for debate. But for me, it's like, it's a whole process. It's a process of coming up with an idea for an article, coming up with a topic. And then I think about it a little bit. I procrastinate for a little bit, causes me a little bit of anxiety. And then I sit down and I write it. And then I hate it at first. And then I look at it again and I make a few changes and I love it. And then I edit it a bit, and I usually send it to a friend or two. And then when I submit it, it's like, it's a rush. And then, a week later, the paper comes out and I, look at my article and my face on my kitchen table for a while.
Right.
My mom asks me for the paper every article because she keeps them and makes a little archive. But for me, it's about the process and then the exchange of ideas. So if I think about the sustainability article that I wrote, I got a lot of good dialogue out of that and a little bit of pushback for people who were saying, I disagree with your stance. I don't think we need a verification system. And that's okay, because I don't take that personally. I'm excited that somebody wants to engage in the dialogue. They have a different point of view. I learned something. Hopefully they learn something. To me, it's about the dialogue. And, if people share your content or your articles, that's great. That's exciting. But I think what's most satisfying is the exchange of ideas. And I think ideally learning something. And to me, it's just, writing again is it's a process for me, and it's a great way to express my, I guess, artistic side as well. And kind of, utilize a different skill set, I guess.
Oh, I love that you're sharing that. That's super cool. I'm always interested in the process.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, what do you prefer? Do you like writing better? Or you like networking better?
I like writing. Networking is exhausting for me more every day, oddly enough. And
what?
Yeah. So if I think about writing too, I should have mentioned this, but like back when I was in grade 11, or grade 12, I had a really influential English teacher, and I loved writing in her class, and she would provide me great feedback. She would say, "This was awesome. You hit the nail on the head here," or "You really missed the mark here. Like, this is terrible." And so she was really influential. And in grade 12, I was like, hey, I really want to be a journalist. I love writing. I like current events. I like politics. So then I was going to go to journalism school. And then I thought, actually, I kind of really want to be a farmer. So then I thought, hey man, like this ideal ultimate life for me could be if I'm a farmer, but maybe I write for the Western Producer one day. So then when Mike Rain reached out to me one day and was like, hey, I want to talk to you. Like, do you want to write a column? I was like, oh my God.
That's how it happened.
I ran into him at I think it was a carbon summit here in Saskatoon a couple of years ago. And when he asked me that, I was just like, oh my God, I was so excited because it's exactly what I had kind of envisioned. And then, it kind of just happened. And he's like, you can write about whatever you want. And I was like, but like, what do you want me to write about? Like, I need some rules. I need some guidelines. I need some, tell me what I can and can't do. He's like, no, just write about what you want. I was like, okay. So
that reminds me of our conversation of you speaking at Farm Forum. And the interesting thing was your reaction that you're like, well, maybe I will. Like, okay, this is sort of a yes. And of course I was using my salesman techniques to like slowly warm you up to the idea. Right.
Yeah. Which I guess worked. So yeah.
I felt like you didn't know yet about that space. You hadn't maybe considered as much as you will come to, I think, because I think you've got a really cool brand, and I think you're going to grow it on a bunch of different platforms is my prediction. And it's,
maybe Dan, maybe it was just that I can smell you salesmen a mile away. And so
listen,
that's why I was like, I don't know.
You can smell us, but you have no natural defenses against our onslaught of salesmanness. No, it's not that insidious. Trust me. But by the way, what are you going to talk about at Farm Forum?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
We talked about you doing a forum though.
I'm going to go home and read the 4 agreements a few more times and then I'll decide.
That sounds great. I'm sure the audience can't wait to hear about the next time that you've read it.
Dan, you've got that one guy out there who's like, this is what I've been looking for. Okay.
All I need is one guy that likes the podcast, and it'll have attained all of my financial goals.
100%. Yeah.
As long as it's Donald Trump.
Yeah. Get him on here.
I could.